we don't see all that stuff, right? That's
Yeah,
our,
we don't see
in the
it.
last episode, what I spoke about was First Corinthians 13, the breakdown in the Bible about love, right? And I was reading
Mhm.
NLT, but when you hear that part that said love keeps no records of being wrong, huh? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
love keeps no records of being wrong. That's not the way I learned it from social media. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Love says I love you up until, and then once you do that
yeah,
one thing to me, you remember that time. You know, you owe
yeah,
me a date today because that time when you told me or you was hanging out with Larry for longer than you should have been. You know what I mean? Like love is that thing, and I think we don't get the picture because the world doesn't give us the full picture, right? The world
right.
gives us a snippet of it. The world gives us a post at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with a caption and some hashtags that tells us what love is supposed to be. But when you break
Right.
it down, like you said, and you'll be speaking from experience, no matter what, marriage, um, owning a pet, family, relationships as a whole, is going to come with commitment. And I remember there was this something I read in a breakdown in my Bible when I was reading the Song of Solomon, Song of Songs. In my Bible, it says Song of Solomon, and I was reading that, and there was a scriptural breakdown when it was talking about don't wake in love before it's time. And one of the breakdowns it said, I
Yeah,
think everybody is in love with love, like the world is in love with love so much that we almost forget that there's not just the feelings of love, but there's also the willingness and the commitment necessary to keep love afloat. And
yeah,
that right there, it blew my mind. I mean, it blew my mind because I was like, I remember at that time I was like head over heels, just thinking, oh, this is my wife. Is this girl I'm gonna ask her? Like, should I talk to her? Like, should I, God, what is it? And we weren't even dating right there. But I'm like, God, should I date her? Or, asking him. And this is a question I'm gonna ask you very shortly. But is this my wife? Give me a sign. You know what I mean? And
right.
it's funny because that time when I was reading it, it was just like it hit me right then and there. And when that scripture said that, it said, just take the time, basically, the breakdown said basically just take the time to see that the feelings and that willingness to keep love afloat meets the same feelings of love, because that feeling is going to go away every now and again, go away, come back, you know. But see that commitment necessary is kept there. And once I went ahead and did that, I started to relax myself. I realized the only thing that was really truly there was the feelings of love, not so much the
Yeah,
commitment. And I think that's a large reason as to
yeah,
why most of those things fail. And that's why we get the facade in our head like, oh, I'm going to get married at set time. If we're waiting for something to be somewhere at set place at set time, we'll be waiting forever.